Hi, I'm Jennifer Roberts, former mayor of Charlotte, and I'm going to tell you a story about restoration. When our city was founded, we didn't have sewer service, and our creeks became places for dumping. In fact, we didn't get our first sewage treatment plant until 1903, and so our creeks were really nasty. I'm going to have to show you some pictures. So in 1907, there was a Charlotte News article that described Little Sugar Creek, pictured here, as a death-dealing nuisance, noting that the gasworks was pouring poisonous matter into it, killing all the fish. Finally, in 1959, they decided to cover the creek under concrete. And 50,000 people came to watch the grand opening of Charlottetown Mall, the Southeast's first enclosed shopping mall. You can see the creek on the left totally covered under the parking lot. Nearby businesses wanting parking space did the same, and they put parts of Little Sugar Creek in the dark for 40 years, and the dumping continued. 10 years later, a local reporter investigated the pollution, finding lots of businesses dumping waste, doing a whole series of stories, and finding that the city itself was one of the culprits. Because apartment development had strained sewer capacity, the city put the sewer line overflow pipe into the creek. Well, in 1970, Mecklenburg County created a Department of Environmental Protection. They began to track down sources of pollution, adopting a new county ordinance, and 2 years later came the Clean Water Act, finally cleaning up chemicals and sewage from our nation's waterways. And the pollution in Little Sugar Creek began to ease up. Cleaning our creeks was also an environmental justice matter. During Jim Crow, racial segregation barred Black citizens from city swimming pools, and so these children were wading and swimming in our creeks. The county continued to clean up our creeks, and soon the idea of greenways began to take hold. Greenways along streams and creeks that feed your water supply help filter pollution from runoff, improve water quality, provide safe places to walk and bike, reducing air pollution and greenhouse gases that cause global warming, and building community. Greenways also helped control flooding that came from more severe rainstorms due to climate change. The shopping mall that was over the creek fell out of favor, and the community began to call for restoring the stream, what they called stream daylighting, and getting rid of the impervious surface that made flooding more severe. The idea of a greenway took hold. The mall came down in 2005. Little Sugar Creek was uncapped, and a prominent segment of the Little Creek Greenway opened in 2010. On the left photo, you can see where a bank branch, auto repair store, and fast food restaurant were all bought out and torn down to make room for this linear park seen on the right. The investment was about 42 million and included state, local, and private money. It was controversial at the time because of that expense, but when the project was completed, it was immediately seen as a great improvement for the whole area. The project added not just the greenway path, but water quality improvements like meanders, riffles, and rain gardens that help filter and control the floodwaters that were becoming more frequent with the changing climate. What was once the most polluted waterway in North Carolina had become an amenity. And it helped with climate action, providing trees and green spaces, offering a safe path for bike commuters, channeling floodwaters, reducing urban heat. Over 40 years, we continue to add more measures, and stream restoration has continued to improve all of our creeks. The pollution is mostly gone, fish have returned, you can even see great blue herons. And this greenway near the center of Charlotte provides shade, buffers to filter runoff, improved air quality, safe channeling of floodwaters, and an open invitation to diverse groups of people to walk, play, and picnic and connect with nature, all within view of our uptown. With the input of community members and volunteers, the expense in the project had bipartisan political support, and our dedicated public staff brought it into reality. With the public engagement, this picture of our greenway today was possible. And that's a great story of restoring nature, taking climate action, and benefiting an entire community in an equitable, inclusive way.